Hello, Wisdom Seekers. Welcome to another lightning episode of The Simple Truth with Stuart. I'm your host, Stuart, your guide to untangling life's complexities and finding the simplicity within. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's the backbone of success: crafting your business plan for prosperity. So imagine you're in a grocery store, contemplating the cereal aisle like it's the meaning of life. Choosing a business plan can feel just as overwhelming, but don't worry. We've got the simple truth to turn that confusion into clarity. Ever wonder why the simplest solutions are often the most powerful? Today, we're unraveling the mysteries behind successful business plans, and we promise it's not rocket science. It's Stuart science. We sprinkle a bit of humor because, let's face it, business planning can use a dash of laughter. Now, life can be a puzzle, and sometimes you're missing a few pieces, but fear not. We're here to help you find those missing parts and create a business plan that's not just a roadmap, but a compass guiding you to prosperity. So grab a comfy chair, maybe a notepad. We're about to drop some simple truths that might just change the way you look at business planning. From goal setting to market strategies, we've got the key ingredients to turn your business dreams into reality. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or a buddy business enthusiast, this episode is your key to unlocking the doors of success. It's like having a conversation with that wise friend who always knows just what to say. And a spoiler alert, that wise friend is me, Stuart. So hit play, get ready, embrace the simplicity of success, and let's embark on this journey together. This is The Simple Truth with Stuart, where we believe in the power of simplicity and the truth that sets you free. Let's keep it simple, let's keep it real. So, well, welcome to everybody, and thank you for joining me today. Today's session, I want to talk about something that all of you should have in your business. Now, the question that I'm going to ask you is, if you don't have it already, when should you start it? Well, you might be asking, Stuart, what are you actually talking about? Well, yep, it is something that sounds a little bit boring. It's a business plan. Now, if you've got a business plan, it's absolutely fantastic. You know, there's so many sayings out there, business without a plan is planning to fail. So you need to have that business plan on hand so that you give yourself that guidance, that GPS, that roadmap to allow you to go forward. Now, if you don't have a business plan, when should you start doing a business plan? Well, what better day than today? Today is the day where I'm going to show you the structures and framework to build a business plan that works. Building a business plan in the past has always been something of complexity, something of research, something where it actually becomes more of a time-consuming distraction sometimes. But really what I'm going to share with you today is a simple framework that each and every one of you can actually do. So make sure that you've got a pen and paper on hand, because you can take down a few little tidbits and notes to help you to get started. So really, where does a business plan actually start from? Now, I've helped clients over the years build business plans, and one of the biggest failures that I've seen is they're writing a business plan because somebody told them to write a business plan. And generally, that's the worst place to start. Because if I'm going to say to you, hey, you need to write a business plan, set it up, and let's discuss it in our next session, you're forced into doing it. And ultimately what happens is you go onto the internet, you research, you just copy and paste, you put information, and it doesn't have any purpose in your business. And ultimately, that actually becomes a waste of time because you don't actually reflect back on it. Or you have the alternative. You actually spend 2-3 weeks doing research, building this business plan. It ends up into a 50, 60-page document that actually takes too many people to actually understand it. And when you start going through it, you actually forget what content you've inserted inside that business plan. So what I'm going to share with you today is how to start in that business plan process, put it together so that you have a very solid structure to help you to go forward in your business. So where does it start with? Well, before you even begin with a business plan, it actually starts with you. It starts with your mindset. You see, when you're getting this plan in place, you've got to have that positivity in your mindset. You've got to be thinking the positive thoughts. Now, how do we start thinking those positive thoughts? Well, why? Why are you in this real estate environment? What is your purpose in actually becoming successful in your business? You've got to have clarity on that. This is where the power of a business plan really starts kicking into gear. It's with your mindset, it's with you internally. You see, when you get told to do something, it creates a negative mindset, which means you're going to put up a mental block. But when you can actually sit down and spend about a half an hour thinking, why is this business so important to me? Why is this business going to have this impact in my life? Why is it so important? And this is really where the business plan all starts with. Once you've uncovered that mindset element of your business plan and you actually have this emotional connection, hey, I'm here because of my family. I'm here because I want to change the lives of the people around me. And you have that emotional connection of why you're here. We then start going into the actual business planning process. So, number one, mindset. Get your mindset to the point of you can understand the clarity of why you're actually wanting to go forward. The second part, and well, this is really where it's all going to begin, is the goals. It's something where you need to identify what is it that you're wanting to achieve. Now, for many people, they always put down a monetary value. I wouldn't want to make $1 million. And that's where it really starts. Well, why is that million so important to you? What can you do with that million? Get to understand the clarity behind that goal. It's really got to be a goal that supports your purpose and your mindset. It's really got to come together as one. When you can actually be thinking clearly, this is what I'm going to do every single day, and you can actually see that particular goal, well, now you're going to start asking yourself the question, how am I going to achieve it? And when that question appears in your mind, how am I going to achieve this goal? Then you know that you've actually created what I refer to as this foundational platform to start building your business plan. When you just go out and do that business plan, it just becomes another document on the shelf. But when you've got that emotional mindset connection and asking yourself the question, how am I going to achieve it? You know you're ready. So that's the first part that you need to start getting into your life and into your business. Start out, number one, with your mindset, getting to understand the purpose and the reasons and that emotional connection. Number two is identifying that goal and not just have it as just a random monetary figure or just a particular goal, but you've got to have that emotional connection to that goal. Why is that goal so important? And when you've got those two elements together and you suddenly say, how am I going to do it? Now you're starting to ask the right questions. So that foundation, now you've got that as your absolute core. And trust me, once you put that into place, going through the next steps that I'm going to share with you is going to be absolutely amazing. I promise you now. So how do we start on the business plan? Well, starting on the business plan starts like this. Well, you've just done that mindset, which discovers the purpose, the reason why you want to do things. You start your business plan by writing that down. You write with what I refer to as that powerful statement. It is your life's purpose. It's your life strategy of what you're wanting to do and what you're wanting to achieve. So it becomes that mindset purpose, and underline with that, you actually write the goal and detail that goal. Make sure that when you share it with somebody, they can actually go, wow, that's actually amazing. I'd love to do the same type of thing. So have that as your opening to your business plan. And it shouldn't be more than about a paragraph. And really, this is what's going to really get you going. Why do you start with that? Well, when you always pick up that business plan, you'll read that particular paragraph first. It gives you that inspiration, which is internal energy, and then you can start looking at all the components that go thereafter. Now, when we get into the business plan section, there are 4 primary components that we need to identify in our particular business plan. And this is where you start putting on the hard helmet. This is where you start thinking business orientated. So there's 4 sections that you're actually going to put into this business plan that will be directly below your opening section. So we refer to this as the business fundamentals. And when you can identify these, you'll find that you're going to have a great focus in your business, and it helps to answer that question, how? So the first one, you need to think budgets. This is so important because going into your business, you need to know, what is your budget? What are your expenses? What type of income are you needing to generate? Because you need to cover petrol, you need to cover your lifestyle expenses. This is your personal expenses. You need to cover your business expenses, which could be your phone, marketing, etc. You need to break down a budget. And it is so important because when you're going forward, it's that budget that's going to help you to maintain your business, and you'll be able to grow from there. So number 1, you got to put down your budget. Having a look at all those expenses that you're having on your personal side as well as your business side. Why? Because most of us are running as solo entrepreneurs, and our personal is actually same expenses. So we need to culminate all of that together so that we actually know exactly what our expenses are. And we start to then work a budget according to that. How much can I actually do in marketing? How much can I actually spend on petrol, for instance? How much can I actually have as maybe a small little budget when I'm taking clients out for maybe a cup of coffee? What is that budget that I actually have? So number 1, it's your budget, making sure that you have that. Number 2, now we actually start digging into the business side of it. And we refer to this as knowing what the numbers are. So what are the type of numbers that we need to do? Now, when you're actually working out, well, what are my numbers? I'll give you some examples. Well, how many clients do I need to have? How many listings do I need to have? How many closings do I need to have? How many people do I need to have appointments with on a daily basis? You see, it's these particular numbers that actually will start giving you those guidelines, those targets for your business of what you need to do. So how do we get to those particular numbers? Well, we generally work it backwards. If we know we've got our budget in place and we know we need X amount of income in order to cover that and have that life that we want by design, we know that right now we've got that value. And we start working back. Well, number 1, how many closings do we need to have, successful closings, registrations, in order to make that amount of money? So there we can get that first number. Right now we've got the number of closings or registrations. Well, how many properties do I need to actually have in my books in order to get that? Now, you might have a ratio that 4 properties, you'll actually get 1 offer that actually closes. So you can then work it out, how many properties do I need to have in my actual books? Once you've got that, there's another number that you're adding into it. You're then looking at and saying, well, how many appointments do I need to go on in order to get those listings, those properties into my books? Maybe you've got a ratio of a 10-to-1. I go on 10 appointments, I get 1 actual listing, or 5 appointments and I get 1 listing. Now it's giving you the number of appointments. Now, bearing in mind, all these numbers are numbers for a year, because you're going to work out budget for a year. You're going to work out these numbers for a year. So now you've actually got these particular numbers, and from appointments, how many calls do you have to make? How many touches do you have to make? And these are the type of numbers that you'll actually put down. Once you've got these numbers, you can break them down into, well, how many do I need to have in a quarter, 3 months? How many do I have to have in a month? How many do I have to do in a week? And this is going to start to bring you down to those numbers in your business. So when you're sitting back, you can track those particular numbers and say, hey, I had 5 appointments this week. I need 7 in order to get those listings. I need 2 more appointments. What can I do to get those 2 more appointments? So, second part of it, it is your numbers. Now, the third part is, well, now it actually follows on before that. These are the activities that you're going to be doing on a daily basis that's going to generate those leads. So we commonly call this lead generation. So this is where the third part of your actual plan in your business is identifying all the lead generating activities that you can do. Now, that's a very important thing. It's not the ones that you want to do or the ones that you should be doing. It's the ones that you can do. It's within your capabilities. So you start writing down, what can you do? Well, I can send out flyers. I can go to events. I can call people. I can go and knock on doors. Maybe I can actually just walk the streets and meet people at different fairs, fun places, groups, parks, etc. You start writing down all of those lead generating activities, because that is going to start feeding into the whole process of your numbers, which will then start feeding into that income for your budgets. So by having that written down in your business plan, you've already got the ideas of exactly what you're wanting to do in your business. So now we've got 1, we've actually got the budgets, so we know exactly what our numbers are. 2, we've got the numbers, so we know exactly what we need to target within our plan. 3, we've got a culmination of ideas of lead generation, ideas of what we can do so that we can actually then go forward. The third is, and this is really starting to have a bit of a forecast. What does your business look like at the end of the year? What does your business look like in, say, 3 years? And what I want you to do is I want you to start looking at your systems. What do your systems look like in 12 months, in 3 years? How many staff do you have? Do you have an admin staff? Maybe you've got a virtual assistant, a professional photographer that you've actually brought in. What does your business look like from an organizational point of view? What does your business look like from a systems and a tools point of view? Is there something that you need to add into your business that you currently don't have? But as you're going through, you can start building that into your particular business. Maybe it's a proprietary software that you write yourself, or a systems manual, a protocols manual of how to do a listing presentation. You start looking at all of that and you start breaking that down. Now, in this particular section, this fourth section of what your business looks like in 12 months and 3 years, can take you a little bit of time. And really here, I want you to start becoming creative. I want you to feel that inspiration of your business being successful. You see, when you start having that inspiration and that feeling, you can actually start to go, right, so my business at the end of the year, I'm going to have 2 buyers in my actual team that will assist me with all my show days. I'll have another listing specialist so I can get more listings into the actual business. I'll have 2 assistants that will be able to, 1, take all of those listings that come in, push it onto the social medias and start driving that part of the business. I have a second assistant that will then be working with those deals, the buyers that come in, setting up those appointments, getting those deals through to the legal side of it so that that can be managed. And you really start to create this business so that you've got this visual. And really, these 4 fundamental components of your business, when you take a step back, you've got budgets, you've got those numbers, you've got lead generation and what your business looks like, you've got an overview of a solid structure for your business. And this becomes the heart of your business plan, because this is now giving you everything that you can see on an overview. At any time of the year, you can actually pick up this business plan. You can have a look at it and say, oof, budgets, I'm a little bit off budgets. My numbers, I'm actually ahead of my numbers, which is great. Lead generation, this particular one is not working for me. It's not giving me those particular numbers. However, there is this one that is working absolutely fantastic. And you're reviewing this business plan on an ongoing basis, seeing the progress of your business through the eyes of this particular plan as you've got out. Then, once you've actually put all that together and you're going to start feeling really good with yourself, we start adding in the next level. And the next component to your business plan really comes down to support, or what I like to call accountability. You see, it's all very well to have all of this on a plan, but who's going to be holding you accountable to maintaining your budget? Who's going to be holding you accountable to making sure that you've hit those particular targets? Who's going to make you accountable to those lead generation techniques that you're actually implementing? Who is that person? Who is that support structure around you? And this is where in your business plan you start to identify, is it something that you're going to have a professional coach? Is it something that you're going to have team members where you're working together and you're going to be reviewing each other's progress throughout? You include that in your business plan and you actually describe for each of those 4 sections, you describe who is going to hold you accountable. When are they going to hold you accountable? And they need to review this and they need to understand this. So that gets put into your actual business plan so that you can actually have that accountability connection to all of these particular components. Now, we all know without accountability, a business plan just becomes another piece of paper. You've done all this hard work to get your mindset, that emotional connection. You've got that goal. You really have got this feeling. You can understand why. We've got these 4 components that's really giving us a solid structure for our business. But if you don't add that accountability, you can actually just push it onto the side. So having that accountability will bring it up and you put that time frame into it. So now you've got your accountability. You're feeling great with yourself. Now we start moving into the level of action. And the level of action is we actually then create a timetable. Now, in your business plan, what you'll typically do is you'll write Monday through to Sunday or Sunday through to Saturday, whichever way you prefer to set out your particular days. You then say, right, on a Monday, what is the lead generating activity that I'm going to do? Now, you can have a look in your business plan and say, right, I've actually said on a Monday, I want to do follow-ups. So I'm going to do a follow-up and you put a time. When am I going to do those follow-ups? I'm going to do those follow-ups from 9 until 11. Fantastic. Outcome, well, let's look at those numbers. Outcomes on those follow-ups, I would actually like to set up 2 appointments or 1 appointment in that particular session. So now you can see the structure of building that business plan starts coming into this calendars. So you start creating and you do that for every single day of the week. Now you may have a day of the week where you say, hey, this is going to be my day off. I'm not going to do any work. It's going to be family time. And that's 100% correct. You are in control of your diary. So if you feel that you need to have a certain day off for family, you put that into your business plan. So it is there and it's set. So you go through each days of the week. You have a look at what is the lead generating activity, what time am I going to start, what time am I going to finish, what sort of outcomes are I wanting from that. Is it that I'm going to make X amount of calls and hit that number, X amount of appointments? Maybe I need to revise the listings. Well, how many listings do I need to revise? And those are the numbers that I'm going to start putting into there. You're going to take that information because that information is going to ultimately end up in your calendar. But now in the business plan, it's there. So you don't have to wake up on a Tuesday morning and go, hey, brain, what are we going to do today? And Pinky says we're going to take over the world. No, what you're going to do is you're going to look at your business plan and say, I already set it out. I know what I'm going to do. My plan is already set. I have this plan to go ahead with. And this starts to now build onto your business. You see, this is the foundational elements of your business plan. And really what you're going to start doing on a day-to-day business, you're going to have this plan, which you're going to read, you're going to start implementing, putting it into your actual calendar so that you can start working forward. You're going to start looking at certain key areas of your business. And when this is coming through, this is when you're starting to do your reviews. You can actually now say, right, this business plan, is it working for me? Well, here's the 3 key pointer areas you're going to look at. The first is listing appointments. Are you going on those listing appointments? Because we know without going on those listing appointments, you're not going to get those listings. So number 1, this is one of your reflections. I'm looking at the business plan. There's my numbers. What is my actuals that's actually happening? 1, I'm going to start reviewing those listing appointments. Number 2, I need to start looking at those lead generation activities. I'm actually doing that activity. How many leads am I actually getting from them? So what is that reflection? What is that actual numbers? So it's actually getting these particular ratios. So first one is appointments. How many appointments am I getting through this particular process? Number two, the lead generation activities. What lead generation activities are working? What lead generation activities are not working? And remember, times change. So lead generation activities can move with seasons. They can move with the time of the year. So you might have to adapt when it comes to festive times and do a different type of lead generation technique. But if you're making yourself aware and you're reviewing it all the time, you're actually going to see how you're moving forward. And the third element is an element for growth into the future. And really what you're looking at is you're looking at your systems, you're looking at your tools. Are my systems working for me, or is it holding me back? Is it preventing me from growing? The tools that I'm doing, is it something that's helping me to move forward, or is it something that is holding me back? Or is there something missing? Maybe I need to improve on a certain part of my business, systems, tools, protocols, all of those areas. And ultimately what you'll be doing is what I've just shared, these three little elements, the appointments, those lead generations, as well as those systems and tools, you'll be doing this on a weekly, possibly even a monthly basis, making sure that you can understand these numbers to make sure that your business plan is actually working. You see, putting this business plan together, it's all very well if we just have it on a piece of paper. We pin it up on the wall, we read it every single day. But if we don't get committed to putting it into action, that's why we've got accountability there. Well, it's just a waste of time. We have that accountability that's holding us accountable to doing these different aspects of our business. And then we reflect back on the numbers to make sure the plan is working. Remember, what we write today, in 6 months' time, your business may have changed. You might have gone from an average of doing 1 deal every 2 months. Now you're doing 2 deals every single month. So your numbers, your budgets, all of those areas may have actually changed because you've now got growth. So you can go back in and you can review that. You make those changes and adjustments because ultimately, what do you want for your business? What is the purpose of the business plan? The business plan is to give you the guidance, is to give you the GPS, to give you that direction to hit and achieve that high level of success in your business, to achieve that goal that each and every one of you had set right in the beginning with that purpose and reason behind it. So just having that plan and having it on a wall and not actually putting it into action, well, it's just another poster on the wall. But if you are reviewing it on a regular basis, being held accountable to it, you can actually see how it all goes together. So that is my simple strategies on how to build a business plan that works, a business plan that is going to hold you accountable to achieving the goals that you want to have, helping you to live that life by design, which is so, so important. So remember, if you don't have a plan, when do you start? Well, best time to start today. Remember, it starts with you and your mindset, your goal. Get those 4 fundamental components together. Close it with accountability and make sure that you're putting a timetable together so that you know exactly when you're going to be doing it. What are those outcomes for each of those particular activities? And reflect on it on a regular basis to make those changes to help you to grow your business. So from myself, Stuart, I want to wish you a fantastic day further and make sure you're running with a plan that is setting you up for success.